everyone, welcome to our webinar. I'm Daita Sergi, Education Programs Manager with AASHE, and I'll be the moderator today. It is my pleasure to welcome you all. As many of you know, AASHE's mission is to inspire and catalyze higher education to lead the global sustainability transformation. We're an international association with about 1,000 members spread across more than 20 countries, including Canada and South Africa. We serve as a professional home for campus sustainability staff, but we offer resources for everyone in higher education. We provide an expansive collection of online resources, networking tools, and educational events such as today's webinar and an annual conference and expo which will be held in Pittsburgh October 2nd to the 5th. Registration is open now and early bird prices are available until tonight at midnight, so make sure to register to join us in Pittsburgh. Just a few housekeeping notes before we get started. Everyone in the audience is on mute, but please feel free to ask questions or provide comments at any point during the presentation. You can do that by typing your questions or comments in the questions pane in the control panel on your screen. Today, you also have the option to raise your GoToWebinar hand if you'd like to ask your question live. So when you get to Q&A, if we see that you've raised your hand, we will unmute you and you'll be able to ask your question directly. If you have additional questions after the webinar, please email them to us either to membership@aashe.org or to education@aashe.org, and we will get back to you. At the end of the webinar, you'll have the opportunity to provide feedback regarding today's presentation. We take your suggestions into account when planning for future webinars, so please do provide this feedback. Please note this webinar is being recorded. If you experience technical difficulties or have to leave early, you and others can view the recording later. The recording with the presentation materials will all be available in the Campus Sustainability Hub after the live broadcast. I'd like to introduce today's presenters, my colleagues Monica Urbanski and Nikia Johnson. Monica joined AASHE in summer 2011 and currently manages AASHE publications, resources, and star submissions. Before coming to AASHE, Monica worked in institutional research planning and assessment at Frostburg State University. Nikia joined AASHE in 2010 as the Membership Outreach Coordinator and now functions as Membership Engagement Manager. Nikia's background includes customer service, recruitment, community development, and working with diverse populations. More information about them is found on our website under this webinar listing. It is my pleasure to welcome all attendees and thank you for joining us today. At this time, I'm going to turn things over to Nikia to get us started.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Tour of AASHE Connect online community webinar. Like Daita mentioned, my name is Nikia Johnson, and I am the Membership Engagement Manager. Also on the line is my colleague, Monica Urbanski, AASHE's Data and Content Manager. We are both part of the online community team, and we are really excited to host this webinar today. Hopefully by now, you have had the opportunity to explore AASHE's new online community. If not, don't worry. We'll show you the basics and how to get the most out of your new member benefit. Before we get started, I do want to mention that although we are doing a walkthrough of the community, a more detailed version of this webinar will be posted in AASHE's Resource Hub. So what is AASHE Connect? AASHE Connect is an online platform for our members to share ideas, ask questions, lend their expertise, and network with their peers. It's a new member benefit that gives immediate access to your user group community at any time and at any place. It's also a way to expand on the value members find in our in-person events, like our AASHE Conference and Expo. For the next hour, we'll walk you through several action items like the home page, how to update your profile, changing your notification preferences, how to post and reply to a discussion, how to find a colleague using the directory, the resource library, search, tags, and filter options, and the future online community. Hopefully, at the end of this webinar, you will have the necessary tools to find solutions to your questions and also exchange ideas with our members. At this time, I'd like to pass it back over to Monica, who is going to discuss the importance of AASHE's new online community. Monica?
Thanks so much, Nakia. All right, so I'm going to be covering a little bit of information about why we established this new member benefit. So essentially, we listened to feedback that we've received from our members over the years. Networking with like-minded individuals, or comments along the line of that, is among the more common responses that we get to a question on our annual membership survey. And the question here is AASHE's greatest strength. Respondents usually reference the annual conference and expo as the avenue through which a lot of this networking occurs. However, we've learned that members would really like a place to continue the conversation beyond the conference. And we've also heard from individuals that are looking for ways to connect with specific individuals or groups of individuals, such as members of a regional sustainability group, and those options aren't already established for that group. So we hope that with the online community, we'll be able to help AASHE members address these and other requests and engage in dialogue with other members as a result. Another reason for launching this new program is to continue to build on the value of AASHE membership. The AASHE online community is open to any individual at an AASHE member organization. And you must be logged in under an AASHE member organization email in order to have access. Finally, I wanted to point out some of the aspects of this new program that are unique and different from perhaps other listservs or social networking sites and other communication tools that you might be used to using. Now, there are definitely some similarities. However, the biggest difference is our unique database. There are about 30,000 sustainability officers, faculty members, other staff in higher education, and business and nonprofit organization members currently being reached through the online community. This broad reach means that it will be easier to connect with individuals to gather the feedback and dialogue that members are looking for, especially for really specific questions. Another unique feature is the moderation and ongoing management that the AASHE team is providing to ensure that this is a high quality member benefit. We review every discussion post before it goes live and add tags to help members find those discussions more easily down the road. And in addition, we know contacts that are subject matter experts on certain discussion topics, and we might sometimes ask them to weigh in with their expertise. And we hope that this moderation and ongoing management encourages and ensures the right type of content is being included and shared. Beyond that, there are a ton of features that make the community more engaging. From the ability to add contacts, use of tagging, search and filtering, gamification, and other features, the online community includes the most up-to-date options to connect with others in a virtual setting. We're going to talk about a lot of those features very soon, though. For now, I'm going to hand things over to Nakia, who will walk through the online community navigation and provide more detail on some of these features. One moment, please.
Thanks, Monica. Can you see my screen okay?
I sure can.
Awesome. So thanks, Monica, for talking about why AASHE Connect is so important to our members. Now we're going to have a little fun. This is the part of the webinar where we will walk through various features of the community. And one of the most important things to know before we get started is, how do you access AASHE Connect? How do you get to the community, right? So you can do this one of two ways. You can first get there by visiting community.aashe.org, or you can access the community on AASHE's homepage by clicking the community tab at the top of the page. So we'll actually go through both of those options. Okay, so here in your browser, community@aashe.org, and this will automatically bring you to the community. Also, if you are on AASHE's homepage, you can click the community button here at the top, and it will also bring you to the community homepage. So now that you know how to get to the community, let's really begin our tour. Upon logging into the site, members will always be directed to this homepage that you see on the screen. This is where you can find hot topics of discussion. You can find recently shared files, blogs, our latest bulletin news, and also if you scroll down a little bit more, we have our Twitter feed, announcements, and our most active members. So all of this information you will find on the home page. You can also log into the community on the home page. So the first thing you'll want to do, I'm already logged in, but if I was not, you'd see a sign in button here where I have the cursor. And I want you to note, this is super important, that in order to log into the community, you have to use the same AASHE user ID and password that you do in order to access the AASHE website. This will get you access actually into the community. So again, remember when signing in, use that AASHE user ID and email that you would use in order to access the AASHE website. So now that you've logged into the site, one of the things that you'll want to look at first is profiles. And one of the first things that we want our members to do is to either complete or update their profile. So to get to the profile page, again, you'll go to this top here where hopefully you have a picture. If not, we'll kind of get to that a little bit later on. But you'll want to click this drop-down menu and click the first profile button. Once you select that button, it will take you to the profile page. And on the left-hand side of the page, you'll notice a heading that says Contact Details. And we've used your information from our database to complete the most basic parts of your profile. We really suggest that you make it your own by completing other areas of your profile, by adding things like a bio and education history. You can also populate information from your LinkedIn page by clicking this button here, Import Your Info. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we love for our members to upload a picture. This really adds to the community and helps others get to know you. So if you haven't, I would suggest uploading a picture. And remember, you are controlling the information that shows up in your profile. The more you share about yourself, the more the community gets to know about you. So this information is super important, especially when it comes to things like the directory, which is something that I'll mention a little bit later. But again, the more that you can fill out here, the more the community gets to know about you. So before moving on to the next section, if you have questions about any of the material that Monica and I are covering, or have a comment about the community, please make sure to share those comments and questions in the chat, and we will review them after the presentation. So now let's talk about how to change your notification preferences. So I'm going to stay here on the profile page, and I want you all to know that the online community was set up with certain defaults on privacy and notification preferences. So it's really a good idea once you all get in here to review this information and make changes as needed. To update the privacy settings, you'll want to click this account button with the drop-down menu and choose Privacy Settings. So this page here lets you control what information is being seen and by whom, okay? So for example, if you have a picture that you've posted and you only want your picture to be seen by your contacts only, then you could choose that option here. Or if you wanted to make it public, then you could choose that here, and you would do that for each of these here. You've got pictures, your contact company information, your city, state, any of these things you can change. And once you do that, then you'd go down to the very bottom and press Save Changes. Okay. The next thing that I want to point out that can be changed in your profile and in my account are the community notifications. And I'm sure many of you by now have received some emails or even what we call the community digest, which sends an email to you once a day that consolidates all the posts from the previous day. So if you are wanting to update your community notifications, again, click the My Account, go down to Community Notifications, and go down to Notification Settings. You'll notice there's only one community here, and that is the AASHE member community. And then you have three options. The first is real time, and so that sends an email every time a new message is posted. Again, you have the daily digest option, which I just mentioned, which sends an email to you each day, consolidating all of the posts from the previous day. And then you have a third option, which is no email, and that allows you to be part of the group without having emails sent to you, right? So you can still post and read messages from members in the community by logging into the community site. So that is the way to change your community notifications and privacy notifications. So the next thing that we will cover now are discussions, and that is how to post and reply to discussions in the community. And there are a couple of ways in which to do this. The first option would be posting a message from the community homepage. So again, we're here at the home page. What we'll want to do is choose the participate button, click that and choose post a message. Here you'll come to the post a message screen, right? So there's several boxes that will need to be complete. The first one is 2. You'll want to choose the AASHE member community. That is the only community that we have at this time. You'll want to make sure that you have your name. You'll want to enter a subject here, and then you'll want to write the text of your message in this box. Once you do that, if you have additional materials that you'd like to add, you'd press the attach button and add those materials. And then once you've completed your message, you press the click the send button at the bottom of the page. Another way to respond to or reply to messages can be from a previous message that is posted. So I'm going to take the latest message here that was posted. I'll go up to the most recent message. Okay. So if I want to reply to this message here, and I want to reply to the entire community, the entire group, then I would press this button here, reply to discussion. It would automatically populate those 2 from subject lines there, and then type the reply, and again, send. If I am wanting to post a message strictly to the author of the post, you can do that also by going down here, selecting the drop box, and selecting reply to sender. So one thing that we do recommend is that replying to sender really should be for simple type comments that really don't have an overall value to the community, but that may be specific to the author. If your reply would be helpful to the whole community and you're sharing some knowledge and experience in a resource that could benefit others, then please go ahead and respond to the whole group. And lastly, a way to post and reply to messages can be done by emailing AASHE-Connect@connectedcommunity.org. And I would save this email as a contact so you can easily send emails without having to log in. And really the benefit of just sending an email is that it saves a step in having to log into the community directly. But I do want to note that using this particular feature, the email feature, only works for those users that are part of an AASHE member organization and already have an account set up in our AASHE member portal. So if you are unsure if you have an AASHE account in the member portal, then I would reach out to the membership department, and if not, we can definitely show you how to create one. So I know that I went over that email address really quickly. If you did not get that, don't worry, because we will provide that email address to you all again at the end of the webinar. So the next thing that I would like to cover is the directory and how to find your colleagues using this feature. And there are two options when using the directory. So the first is the basic search. And that is really helpful when you know the individual that you're looking up. So you know their email, you know their first or their last name, or you even know the institution or organization in which they're with. The advanced search is useful if you are trying to find a contact based on specific variables like their institution, their type, location, or position. So let's take a look at the directory. So again, like most of the features, you'll find it here, one of these main tabs at the top of the page. A drop-down box will come down. The two options I just mentioned, individual, organization, directory. We're going to look at the individual directory. Okay, so for this example, I'm actually going to use Monica, and we're going to see if we can find her in the system. So we know Monica's first name, and we also know Monica's last name. Okay, one thing to note is that you don't need all of the information in order to use the directory. I'm only going to use Monica's first and last name. Okay, so I'm going to click the Find Members button. Okay, so here is Monica. And once you find the individual that you are looking for, there are a couple of things that you can do. The first thing is you can click the person's name and that will take you to their profile page, right? So that same page that we looked at in the very beginning that has their contact information, their job history, their institution or organization. All of that information is found there on their profile page. You also have the ability to send a message to Monica, to email her personally. Another feature that we have is you can add Monica as a contact or remove her for as a contact. And one of the great things or why you should add contacts is that creating a virtual address book makes it easy to send your contacts messages through the community. And additionally, when you view another member's profile, you'll be able to see any contacts that you have in common. So it's just a really good way to increase your network. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the directory, and I'd like for us to take a look at the advanced search. And again, this is a way to really refine your search and really drill down to those specific individuals, okay? So again, this allows you to search, and I'll move the screen down, by location, member group, department discipline, position type, institution type. Okay, so For example, let's say you are looking for all AASHE members who are at a master's institution, okay? So you can click the master box here, which is under institution type. Click this Find Members button, and you'll see here we have 747, okay? So again, this really allows you to drill down and bring up all of the members that fit the particular criteria that you have. So I have concluded reviewing the homepage, updating your profile, changing your notification preferences, how to post and reply to a discussion, and how to use the directory. So this next part of the webinar, Monica will focus on the research library, search, tags, and filter options, and also discuss a little bit about the future of our new online community. Monica?
All right, thanks so much, Nakia. Yes, so now that Nakia has walked you through the basics of navigating the online community, I'd like to provide a little more information about some of the features that we briefly mentioned earlier. One of the unique features of the online community is the ability to share documents through the resource library. This allows members to share policies, plans, reports, and similar documents that others in the community may find useful. To find the resource library, you can click on the community's landing page, then click on the library tab. So I'm going to do that briefly here. So first I'm going to navigate to the online community. This is the AASHE member community. And as you can see here at the top, there is a community home, a discussion tab, a library tab, members. So I'm going to click on library here. And this is just a listing of all of the documents that have been uploaded already. And just to let you know, there are alternative paths to this. For example, I could go to Browse and hit library entries from there, and it will take me to the exact same page. So there are, in several circumstances, a few different ways to get to a certain page that you may be looking for. So the resource library is populated in any of two ways. When you include an attachment in a discussion post, the system automatically places it in the affiliated library. You can also upload documents directly to the library by using the Share a File link found under Participate in the main navigation. Or you can create a new library entry button on any of the community's library pages. Library resources are not required to be associated with a discussion thread, so you can upload them independently without posting anything. One thing I'd like to note is that the library resources included in the online community are unique and separate from all of the resources found on the Campus Sustainability Hub, AASHE's online resource library. So for example, if you upload something there, it doesn't automatically transfer over to the hub where we share quite a few other resources. Okay, so with that, I'm going to move on to the next portion, which is the search, tags, and filter features that are found in the online community. These features essentially work together to help users find the discussions and resources that they're looking for. This is one of my favorite features personally, since it allows us to build a solid knowledge base that can be useful for users now and as well as down the road. So here are some of the highlights. Tags are a great way to organize and categorize content on the community, and it also helps with filtering search results. Tags can be applied to blogs, library entries, events, and glossary terms. Tags are itemized or I'm sorry, tags are prioritized in the search results. So for example, if I wanted to post a new discussion and I wanted to tag it, I would once again go to the discussion page for that online community. And then when I post a new message, I would go ahead and obviously add a subject line, add my content, and then begin typing using the hashtag symbol. And what you'll find is that automatically a bunch of the existing tags will show up. So that is one way to categorize, or I'm sorry, to add a tag. Right now, tags are, you can add a tag directly from a new post, but I do not believe that a follow-up response on an existing post will allow you to add tags. So we have added 17 formal tags to the online community platform, and these coincide with the STARS subcategories found in STARS, as well as the topics found in the campus sustainability hub. So for example, curriculum is one of our STARS subcategories and hub topic areas. And that is also one of several formal tags that we've established. Others include research, campus engagement, air and climate, wastewater, diversity and affordability, investment and finance, and several others. Using these tags will ensure that it's possible to easily find all of the resources related to those broad topic areas. And so I've walked through briefly how to add a tag. Next, I'm going to just cover a little bit more about the process of viewing results based on those tags. So once again, I'm just going to go to the member community and view the discussions, and the tags will appear here with these green highlights. So for example, I'm just going to pick one here that might be useful. I think we have some discussions under the waste topic, so I'll click on waste. And this will then pull up all of the most relevant discussions related to waste. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that on the left-hand side here, there are some filters available, and you can further refine those results just by clicking on some of these filters. So we're under waste now. It looks like there are a couple posts on recycling, so I'm going to narrow down that search result to showcase just the recycling and waste posts. So we encourage you to use tags when you're adding a message, and AASHE staff may also be adding tags to your posts during moderation. We generally classify each discussion post with one or more of the sustainability topic tags as appropriate, and sometimes we add other tags as well. And another thing to note is that user-generated tags can be added at any time. These are less formal than the topic tags that we've established, but we've already gotten quite a few user-generated tags. Whenever you're posting a message, you can just use the hashtag to add your own user-generated tag, and it will become created. And then once it's generated, others will be able to use it moving forward as well. Okay, so we covered a little bit about tagging and filtering, and next I wanted to discuss briefly a little more information about the search function. So I'm going to go back to my communities, and really there's a search bar available on every page, and so you could access this at any time. But it works, it's pretty straightforward, works similarly to just about any other search. It will generate a list of results that relate most closely to your search query, and you'll also be able to filter based on the results that show up. So in this case, I'm going to type in the word assessment and see what it pulls up. And it looks like there were a few discussions related to assessment, sustainability dashboards, cultural assessments, and similar items. If you wanted to narrow this further, you could do so. So I'm going to pick up on the campus engagement. I want to see those posts related to campus engagement as well. And so that's another way to, again, further refine your search query. And so again, I'm really hopeful that the tagging, the filtering, and search options are going to be useful, in particular for folks that maybe are looking for answers to questions and that question may have already been answered, and they can go in and review what's in there and pull out the discussion posts that are most relevant to them. Okay, so next I'm going to transition back to our slides and talk a little bit more about where we're going next with the online community. So as you all know, this is a brand new member benefit. And with that in mind, we are committed to growing and improving the online community over time through ongoing maintenance, additional features, and we're also possibly adding some new communities down the road. However, our focus right now is to continue building engagement within this existing community, the AASHE member community. One thing that I think is fairly important to note is that the online community is a product of the Higher Logic online management software system. So since this program is not built by AASHE, we don't have full control over some of the features and functionality. However, we work closely with Higher Logic and have had great communication with them, and we communicate questions and issues regularly so that we can continue to improve the functionality and features available. So in addition to this, we are interested in time in exploring the potential for new online communities to be added. And this is one area in particular that we'd love your feedback on. So for example, we are considering establishing a STARS participants community where questions can be addressed by AASHE staff on the STARS team or other community members, and responses can be accessible to any STARS participant. The STARS, the STARS team answers a lot of questions about STARS on a regular basis, and providing answers to some of the most common questions in an open format, we feel could definitely help encourage data quality in STARS reports in a way that benefits all STARS users. So another area that we would like to explore is the potential for establishing communities within our partner organizations that align with specific sustainability topics. So for example, some examples may include a sustainability communications forum, a campus as a living lab community, or an AASHE affiliates group. If you are a part of a group that would like to explore communication through an AASHE Connect community, please get a hold of us. Again, you can reach us at membership@aashe.org or reach out to any of us individually from the staff directory, and we will, if we can't answer the question for you, we'll definitely pass the message along to the right person. So additionally, some feature enhancements are another thing that we're looking at doing. Again, some of this may not be as flexible as we'd like, since we are part of this platform that's already established rather than this being a program that we've designed on our own. One feature, for example, that we're looking to enhance in the future is our gamification program, which would allow us to sort of make this process a little bit more fun and interesting by assigning points for certain actions and really just promoting engagement. Beyond this, some other feature enhancements that we will be providing will largely depend on what our members are looking for. So again, we definitely just want to hear from you on that. So with that, the final question for us today, before moving on to your questions, the final question I have for you all is, what else would you like to see in the online community? So as you can see here, we've set up a short one-question poll that can be accessed at the tiny URL provided here. And we will also, by the way, be able to include this link when we upload the webinar resources to the Campus Sustainability Hub. So it will be accessible after today's webinar, and we're not expecting to close it right away, so we will be gathering feedback through this over time as you guys are able to provide it. So I would just encourage you to take some time navigating the community, checking out all the different features, and providing your suggestions after you've done that. Okay, so that is all that we're going to cover at this time. We've basically gone through the whole presentation. Thank you so much for joining us for the walkthrough. At this time, if you have not already done so, please add your questions under the questions pane in the GoToWebinar panel. And I am going to pass things back along to Daita, who will facilitate the Q&A. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Monica and Nikia. As Monica said, we will now turn to our audience for questions. You can send them via the questions pane, or you can raise your GoToWebinar hand and we can have a conversation live. So Nikia, the first question is, can you go over the direct email option again, please?
Sure. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So we will make sure that this is in the chat. But again, this is AASHE-Connect at Connected Community, which is all one word, .org.
Thank you
and
so
again,
much.
Sure.
Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
No. It's okay. I just wanted to let everyone know, again, this allows you to email the community directly.
Thank you so much. So, Monica, you just mentioned the gamification. What exactly does this mean?
Right. So gamification is basically, like I briefly mentioned, just a fun way to reward engagement. I'd be happy to showcase this briefly, so I'll do that in just a second. The online community page, let me exit out of here for a second. I think I've still got controls, right, Daita?
Yes.
So if you go to the community homepage and scroll all the way to the bottom, right now we have this most active members section right at the bottom. And as I think I mentioned, there are certain actions within the online community that you earn points towards. For example, if you update your profile picture, you get a certain number of points. And then if you update your profile in other ways, you get a certain number of points. Posting or replying to posts will give you a certain number of points, and similar things. And so this is something that comes standard with the Higher Logic platform, but we haven't really explored exactly how to get the gamification points to tally up, and also how to use that as an engagement tool. We might, for example, look into just some fun, monthly, who's the monthly top contributor or something like that. And so it's really just something that we're going to explore a little bit further. This is just one of the features that came standard, and we didn't really, we wanted to add something basic for now, and we'll be fine-tuning that in the future.
Thanks so much, Monica. Can I start my own community?
Yes, so we are definitely considering that. And again, for right now, our focus is on building the AASHE member community, but we are happy to connect with you to see if a closed community would be something that you or your colleagues that would make sense for you and your colleagues. And when I say that, examples that come to mind here are perhaps you have a regional sustainability group, but you haven't already established a listserv for that group. And so there is really, outside of just emailing, there aren't that many options. And again, there might be other AASHE affiliated organizations or partnership opportunities that we might also expand and include a closed group for. So if you do have ideas or suggestions or would like to explore this option further, again, just email membership@aashe.org to inquire about this.
Thank you, Monica. Also, You mentioned the Campus Sustainability Hub. Will you be integrating this community with the resources in the hub?
Okay, good. Yeah, so not at this time. Right now, there's no integration between the online community and with the Campus Sustainability Hub. However, this is something that we would like to, in some way, bring into the hub in some capacity. So, for example, and I can probably show you this really quickly since it looks like we're still good on time. If I go into the hub, I could go to one of these. Again, these are the 17 topic areas that are consistent with STARS, and also we have tags existing for each of these. So I might potentially just go to the curriculum toolkit, and this includes an introduction, a list of featured resources, latest news from the bulletin. But something that we could add here, for example, would be a link to the tagged content under curriculum, and then doing something similar like that under the various other options. If it's something that folks would like to see, again, feedback for that would be great. Usually, a lot of times, integration with a third-party system can be a little bit tricky, so it might be something a little bit fairly basic, like a simple link that takes you to another site, and then you might have to log in just to view that link, but it's possible that it could be a lot more seamless than that. But there are opportunities out there, of course, largely dependent on what our members would like to see.
Thank you, Monica. We have one last question remaining, so I encourage everyone, if you still have any questions for us while we're on the webinar, please submit them now and before we conclude today. So Nikia, what is the events section all about?
Sure. Daita, do I have access to my screen?
I can give you access in 1 second.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, so events is something that we didn't touch upon during the webinar, but it is something that I do want to mention. So it is found under the main navigation bar, just like some of the other main sections. And we don't have information in the community on events, but if you click the button, it will take you to a drop-down menu, and there are two options, upcoming events, and if you click this will take you to an external web page on our AASHE website, which has all of the events that we have going on for the month. So basically our events calendar is what you will see when you choose that option. You also have the ability on the events tab to submit an event. And again, this will take you to the submit event page that's found on our website where you can add a new event.
Thank you so much, Nikia and Monica. Before we conclude today's webinar, I want to remind everyone about our next webinar, which will take place next week on Wednesday, June 6, starting at 3 p.m. The Decolonization of Curriculum for a Sustainable Future introduces ways to include other cultural perspectives in course content in support of a more inclusive and sustainable future. You can learn more about this webinar and our other professional development offerings on our website, and I hope you'll join us again. A reminder to everyone to please fill out the post-webinar survey, which will show up on your screen once the webinar ends. Thanks again, Nikia and Monica, for providing the overview of AASHE Connect today, and thank you everyone for attending. If you have additional questions, there's multiple ways you can reach us via email at the email on the screen or the email provided previously at membership@aashe.org, and the recording and presentation materials will all be available in the hub tomorrow and you'll receive a notification once they're uploaded. A final reminder that today is the deadline for early bird registration prices for our conference. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.